Khatija Rahman, welcome to CNN News 18.
Hi, nice
Hi,
to.
thank you. Khatija, your latest album titled Kuhu Kuhu, which features recreated versions of five old Hindi songs in your melodic voice. Generally young singers like to make a splash with their singles. What prompted this idea of repackaging old Hindi classics in your voice and not coming out with the brand new song?
I think these are few of my favorite songs from Lata Mangeshkar ji's, and I connected a lot with this and the music of that era. So wanted to put out something of this genre. Of course, there are some original ideas, few of my compositions, but before that, I thought we could make this into an album, and also. Um, so the idea is this is an all acoustic version and there's no synth or anything used, everything is live. So the idea is to preserve the essence of those original songs and then put this out because I've seen beautiful cover versions. So I was just like, okay, why not? We can also try, and we have an all women orchestra, Firdaus Orchestra as well. It just felt special to do something as a tribute, and Lataji being a woman herself, it's just great the number of female power as well coming in to do this tribute.
I have many questions about your music, but before moving on, would you please like to tell us about what was it like growing up in a house surrounded by music?
Um, I think there's a lot of learning. I think subconsciously we're consuming music almost every day, and that too, it's not just anything normal, but it is great music you're surrounded with. And I think that has shaped my choices, my taste in music as well, in what is good, what is bad, how to not compromise on the quality of things you like as well. Like, so I'm just grateful for it.
Like which songs, could you please elaborate on when you said not to compromise on the quality of the song?
No, so I just generally mean uh, that sometimes when I was very, very young, I would sit through recordings when singers were singing. So you would see that nothing less than great comes out. So that's what I mean by not compromising anything. So I would listen to a lot of that music, and so somehow it gets imbibed without your knowing what I mean.
The world finds solace in the music created by Rahman sir. But you actually left singing for a brief period of time because of the overwhelming attention your singing was getting. And then after your mom convinced you, you decided to return behind the mic. What was that period like, Khatija?
The 7 year break,
Yeah.
I was too overwhelmed with the fame and I didn't know how to handle it, or I was in a very different headspace. Then I think um, how I came back was, so always wanted to be independent, but then so we know that this uh, legacy of music is carried through generations. So uh, there's no point in just suddenly learning something new. When you know this comes to you, it's just that I needed training. So then I said, okay, if whatever I earn, if I can help support people with that, that was the intention behind coming to this. It wasn't for any fame or anything. But then ideally, I realized passion is also here.
Yeah.
So I think that 7 year break was also finding my true calling. And I know it was too young, but maybe I needed that break to come back, and it helps me stay grounded. Um, yeah, I mean,
Is that why you're very selective about the work you want to do? We haven't heard many songs from in your voice.
yeah, I think, yeah, I'm just taking it a little slow and steady rather than just a one off thing, but at least um, trying to be consistent and slow, and anything which really resonates with my heart, then I do it. Otherwise, then I try not to. Otherwise, it won't come from the heart, and there's no point in putting out something where your mind and your this one is disconnected. Then the audience will know, and they'll also feel it. So
Then how Mimi happened?
Mimi happened. Uh, So what had happened is my dad just said, just try a few lines. And then what had happened is, so I think I had taken the vaccine that time.
Oh.
I was feeling a little weak. I still went and tried, and whatever I tried, he said sounds good and just gave some feedback. And then the second half of it, he said there's a deadline you have to sing. I said I won't be able to. He said okay, I understand. He said I'm under pressure. I have to deliver the song. I said okay, no problem. But there was a slight tinge of, because I really liked that song and resonated with it. But I'm just like, okay, if it whatever works, there's no personal emotions here. Then I think two other singers sang. I was happy. I really liked it, but I think it did not work for the film. So then the song came back to me. I was just like, okay, this is God. So suddenly we were sitting, and then he said, oh, let's record. I said, oh, I thought it was already done. He said, no, just record. I said, I haven't practiced the song, then you'll get upset. He said, no, it's okay. Come, I'll help you. I'm like, okay.
Get upset?
I was scared. Like I said, no, I've not heard it, because suddenly you're just saying. He said, no, do. Then I think maybe the director or producer liked it. I think the voice had to blend with the other, with Julia Gata. So I think I don't know. So I'm just like, okay, it was meant to be. So
Very nice song, Rockabye Baby, it was called.
thank you.
So then, Khatija, who's your favorite singer? Whose singing inspires you the most?
For me, Lata Mangeshkar ji singing has inspired me the most. There is so much feel, so much, like she's just like perfection, personified. So and the emotions she carries is like in her words, and so many expressions. So I think that really fascinates me, and I think she as a human being and the hard work she's put in for music in itself is so inspiring.
Then do you all discuss music at dinner table?
Sometimes. So I think we just talk usual stuff, what's going on, because so now all of us are grown up and
Yeah.
doing different things. So for us, it's more of like just regular what's happening in the day and other things. Of course, I will share, oh, I'm doing this project, this, that, and then because we need our parents' prayers for good things. So that's all.
But do you all tell dad this is a new song you must listen to, or is it the other way around?
Mm, no,
Because the father has now become a filmmaker. He's producing films. He's directed one.
correct. So don't I don't suggest anything of that sort. We just share reels with each other on Instagram. That's it. So he'll share something, I'll share something back, and we just chat with each other. So otherwise, I just share, okay, this is happening with me. I'm doing this collaboration, or I'm doing this thing. And then he said, okay, give your best, or that's it. So
You mentioned reels. Reels are the new way to judge how big a song is today. There's a lot of talk about having 1 minute song because it's reelable, if I can say. Do you all discuss sometime creating songs which are reel friendly with your dad or with your brother?
no, I don't think my dad has ever did spoken that way, because so one such example is fair enough. We have to be upgraded to what is happening now. But I think what he did was, where this real stuff is going on, what he did is, in his film Mamannan, which is a Tamil film, he put out a song which is 6 minutes 50 seconds, the
Okay.
song.
Yeah.
And I think it's crazy how he followed his heart, and this particular song was so recognized. Like even now in the shows when they perform, people are so like getting hyper about it. So I think he just followed his heart. Like obviously it is good, it is captivating to do 1 minute music or to follow a certain this one, but I think he's like brought the old trend back where the songs were long through. Like it was crazy how he did not like follow the crowd.
Your brother Amin is also a singer, and Rahima, if I'm not wrong, is studying.
Yeah, she's figuring out her own interests and all of that. Yeah.
So being the eldest one, do you know the strength of your sister and your brother Amin, who recently have delivered few songs. Viruka, uh,
Never.
Nina Viruka, yeah, who got a thumbs up even by the audience.
Yeah. Yeah, I know their strengths and I'm really proud of them and they are also there for me. So I showed like mainly like Raima my work. So I think by God's grace, like it's a safe place to discuss with my siblings and Amin and me are also close. Like he will give me feedback about something or I will give him. So I think we have like, we know each other's strengths and shortcomings, things to improve. So yeah.
The other song of yours which went viral was your song from the first edition of Coke Studio Tamil. The song was, of course, called Sagawasi.
Yeah, Sakavasi, yeah.
That song very fresh when I heard it. How much time you ended up spending on that song? Because we can see a lot of swag in your voice in that song.
So it was almost a I would say like so I think almost a month of jamming together overall, and I think I was also so I knew the shoot was on a certain date. So I would practice it at home in the mic because there needs to be a certain throw in the voice. So all that was happening, preparation was happening. We were jamming on so many things with Arivu and Sean Roldan sir and so many other musicians. I think I also wanted to break that, oh, I sing only soft stuff or, all of that. But at the same time, keeping the authenticity in the voice. So I think Ariva was kind to give me some amazing parts in the song and wonderfully composed by him. And the message of it is also coexistence and it is timeless. Like nobody can deny that the message he has to say through the song with the lyrics he wrote. So yeah.
What is your music process like? How much time do you devote on riyaz, on practicing every day?
Basically, I think so practice is every day. So in terms of number of hours, it depends like what technique or whatever your voice has to improve on. So based on that, I just give a certain amount of time. And my process is I'm still trying to figure because like I'm doing my own film now as a composer. So I'm still trying to figure out the sounds of the film. It's a Tamil film called Min Mini. And so that would it's better to talk after it releases. But yeah, I mean, I think I'm still figuring out I'm in that zone where just in a very experimental zone with the director. So yeah.
And finally, what is the most demanding part of the music making process for you, including singing?
I think so when you sing for a composer, the composer has to be happy. That is very important. So you shouldn't spoil the idea. Like you should make sure to deliver justice. In terms of music creation, sometimes there is a certain deadline you have to finish it in, and then you're sometimes stuck creatively. So those kind of things come up. But I think if the director from my end has been very understanding. But so all of that, right? You're stuck between, oh, I don't want to compromise. I want to do a better song versus like, oh, I have to deliver this now. I had promised it. So that is something figuring out. But with Min Mini, it's not been that difficult. So maybe if we have understanding directors, it will be nice. Like her, she's been very understanding. So yeah.
Khatija Rahman, here's wishing you a lot of success and chart busters. Thank you so much for your time. Best of luck.
Thank you so much.